All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you. Now, about 2 hours ago, a spider, a very quick spider, very quick spider, might I add, it ran under my bed. And I'm in my room right now, and I haven't been in my room in about 2 hours, so, we might see a spider in here. But we're going to talk about the Rockets' biggest issue. And it's not a spider. It's the draft lottery. It's not too hard to comprehend. This draft lottery here in just 1 month, it dictates the Houston Rockets next 5 years. Like it can completely change everything about the Houston Rockets. Now, even Rockets team owner Tillman Fertitta, I can never say that goddamn dude's name right. I don't even want to be honest. Sorry, but you're not that great. He was extremely happy about only winning 16 games at the end of the season. That's something I do like about it is you have some teams trying to compete when, season's over, man. Season's just completely over. And I like what Tillman came out and said, yeah, we won 16 games, but I've never been so happy about losing. When we look at all the draft picks we have in the future, I'm just happy. I know it's unusual to feel this good with your coach and your GM after such a bad season, but I do. And once he said that, I'm like, all right, it's not up to me. I'm not the GM. I'm not the owner. I'm not the coach. I can't control any of this. I'm going to just trust the process. So when they traded away James Harden, they just got a whole plethora of draft picks. And they also found some absolute steals this year just playing basketball, man. I'm shocked. They got KJ Martin in a very last second trade. Or KJ Martin got picked very last second. We ended up making a trade for him. Traded for KPJ. Picked up Jayshawn Tate from the NBA. What is it called I actually can't remember what the National Basketball League of Australia would be. NBL. I think it's the NBL. I'm not quite sure. But we got Jayshawn Tate from overseas, played a year in Germany, played a year in Australia, and he was the MVP of the playoffs, and it was for good reason, man. They also came out with an incredible move and got Christian Wood. So even with all these great young stars, you have two big guys kind of dictating the salary, and it's John Wall and Eric Gordon. But Eric Gordon's movable. We'll see what happens with John Wall here in the offseason. But it's not too bad when, you've only really have two players on your team that have a bulk of the salary, and it's only Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon, by the time his contract's up, will be making about $20 million a year, but it's a pretty good, solid, let's not talk about John Wall's $49 million guaranteed in his final year. It's just ridiculous. He's literally guaranteed over $90 million in the next 2 years, but with all that put aside, the Houston Rockets' future looks great. The only problem is I don't know if we have any superstar potential players on our hands. And the two big guys right now are KPJ and Christian Wood. Honestly, KJ's kind of showing flashes of it here at the end of the season. But for the most part, KPJ in his 50-point game, Christian Wood going 20-10, 21-10 pretty much. There's a lot to be happy about, but as far as superstars go, we're not quite sure. This Rockets team wasn't the best this year. Granted, Christian Wood was doing all this still when James Harden was on the team, so I think he's a little bit different. Hopefully he can take that next step from all-star. I guess he's not even an all-star right now, but all-star to superstar next season. That would be beautiful. All-star next season, superstar season after that. 3 years. What's his contract? It's super low. It's like $50 million, I want to say, something crazy like that. He got Christian Wood in an absolute steal. But this draft lottery is just absolutely huge for the Houston Rockets because it's top four protected, and they have a 52.1% chance of keeping their pick. That's a little bit more than a coin toss. Head coin flips heads, we keep the pick. We get Cade Cunningham, possibly flips the other way. It's off to Oklahoma City, and The good news is it's not completely disappointing if they don't get a top 4 pick, because they will still, regardless of what happened, they'll still have 3 first-round picks this season. Now, the only thing is, it's from Milwaukee, it's from Portland. I'm just not quite sure where these picks are going to land. I don't even know if it'll be inside the top 14. It's just, they're not superstar players is essentially what I'm trying to get at. So just when you think about it, like the Rockets are trying to get a superstar via draft, I mean, via free agency, I guess, but you're really trying to get a homegrown free agent or homegrown superstar from the draft rather than buying a max contract, signing a max contract superstar. Cade Cunningham could change the entire future of the Houston Rockets, and I made a video about this on the second channel. The link's in the description. We have abundance of point guards. You've got John Wall, you've got Eric Gordon, you've got DJ Augustine, KPJ, Kyrie Thomas. There are so many point guards, ball handlers, players who can handle the ball on this team. Cade Cunningham, he's another 6'8" point guard who can shoot the ball. Like, that's no matter how many point guards we have on this team, I want to get the 6'8" point guard who can shoot the 3 ball and pretty much do everything. And he's looking really good. I mean, he's shooting better than Luka is, and he looks kind of like he could be a mini Luka. We'll see what happens. There's still some flexibility on Eric Gordon's contract. I wouldn't be surprised if they dish him away. But I talked about this earlier today, but they could still trade up for a pick. If they still fall in the top 4, they could still, if they fall in the top 4 and it's not number 1, because the chances it's number 1, I believe, are 12%. Maybe it's 8.5, but it's somewhere between 8 to 12%. So very, very low that we end up getting that first pick. I feel like the draft lottery odds have tended to help teams in like the 5 to 8 range in recent years. And I'm thinking about my Chicago Bulls, wouldn't be too upset about that. The good news is Houston does have the next 2 years of controlling our own first-round picks, and then you just have total ownership over Brooklyn. We'll see what happens with the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think that their picks will be quite useful for a couple of years here, but you don't get a top 4 pick. You don't get a top 2, top 3 pick even, maybe. I mean, this rebuild's delayed just one entire season. There's nobody really on the free agency list that I'm like, oh yeah, this guy could come in here, compete at a high level, and help the Houston Rockets win. While there are some players on the market who I'm sure, could help the Houston Rockets win, like John Collins. I'm not really willing to pay these guys the money that they're expecting, especially after John's last playoff performance. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that sub button. Do this every single day. We got Rockets content coming out all off season. Been doing it all season. So thank you guys for the love, and I'll see you tomorrow.